Tell him what that is.
It's a popsicle stick launcher.
So I'll show him everything. Look at that. And right here he has the rubber band and it's gonna shoot this out. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So, who are you gonna shoot it at?
It's not gonna make it over there.
Watch out, Wolf.
It's pretty inconsistent.
Wolf, watch out. Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's cool. He's always in his room making stuff. We don't know what's going on back there. I think he'd be making shivs and stuff. But no, bless you. You were in his room again. Wolf, come on. But that was cool. Let's see how far I can go.
Oh,
Start from right here. Move, Wolf. Move.
I don't think full blast. I don't think.
Try to get to the door.
It won't let me make it over there.
See if you can get to the door.
I found a way to just keep it. No, just
It still got pretty close. That was good. That is really good. How did you come up with the design?
I just saw it. I don't know.
Oh wow! So you didn't look at anything?
No, I don't like looking at things.
Did you come up with the design? Didn't think so. Wow. So what are you gonna make next?
A car.
Oh nice. I'm excited. You gonna show me?
Yeah.
Yay! Or did you already start it? Up guys. Today we are doing Uber Eats apparently.
And Grubhub on the side.
We're not. We haven't done one yet.
Oh yeah. Even though I had the app on the whole time.
Oh. So. Yeah. So we're out here in these streets doing Uber Eats. So today this is our fourth.
Yep. Fourth delivery.
Our fourth order, and I like the fact that you can cash out like right away.
Yes.
So I told him after $40 that we're gonna cash out because I need stuff for Taahj's school.
We made past the $40 mark.
We did.
Yeah, so we did. We hit the quota.
We did. So Taahj's school stuff is taken care of for this week. Well, maybe. I don't know. They probably might hit me with something else. Who the freak knows? But anyways, we're gonna jump subjects really quick because today, well this week, it's been like a confirmation to speak about being honest with yourself emotionally. And I've like heard so many things this week. I talked to my friend Siobhan about it because we were saying something. She was talking about a guy that she was dealing with, and she was saying that, oh, maybe her period was starting and that's why she was acting this way. And we as women and as men, they don't say period, but so instead of saying like I'm emotional, I'm hurt, I'm mad, I'm upset over a situation, we tend to hide behind our hormones or other things that, you know, justify us being a certain way. Yeah. So I was telling her, I was like, listen, it might not even be your period. You might just feel this way really in your heart, and that's fine. It's okay to feel that way. And she's like, that's true. And I'm like, you don't need to hide behind that thing, you know, like your period's coming, your period's starting, you're on your period, it's your first day, because what if you're just really like that, you know what I mean? So then I would listen to Celeste the therapist. Y'all, you should listen to her. Like, I love her so much. I was just saying, like, I was listening to Celeste the therapist, and she had started talking about pretty much the same thing. And it was also about, you know, if you don't know how to identify emotions yourself, how can you help your children identify and help them through things that what's going on with them emotionally? And then another thing that I listen to is Mr. and Mrs. Kev on Stage. It's called The Love Hour, and they are, you know, this amazing couple that they do a podcast, but I watch them on YouTube, but they also have the podcast. I have their podcast saved as well. But they also were talking about emotional, being open emotionally and feeling feelings, because a lot of guys don't do that feeling of the feelings thing. So it was actually really, I love these things because number one, it helps Kevin and I like bring up things like in our own relationship, get to look at something that's going on and check in with each other about things. So as I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh, this relates to something that we had gone through, or something that we've been through, or something that we're going through. So I always enjoy listening to those, and plus it's free therapy for me, and it's free marriage therapy for us. So I enjoy anything that's free, but it does help me stay enlightened. And because I'm a person that likes to always try to be better, this kind of stuff helps me look at myself as well. So it does help. There's been a lot of times where I find myself saying I'm about to start my period, or I must be about to start my period because of X, Y, and Z. But what if I was just in a bad mood that day and it had nothing to do with my PMS? So, you know, I just don't think that we should hide behind, you know, something in order to feel emotions. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that. In order for you to have a feeling, you shouldn't be like, well, and then for guys, it feels like the only time that they see it's socially acceptable for them to feel feelings is a passing of someone.
Yes.
And then other than that, it doesn't feel like it's, you know, socially accepted for them to feel any type of way. I don't know, can I talk about like the first time between us, when you cried for the first time?
Oh yeah.
Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so like back in the day when him and I got together, I was over at his apartment that he shared with his roommate, and I was about to leave, and I was at, where were we, at the bus stop? Were we at the trolley?
We were at the trolley station.
Yeah, we were at the trolley station, and I was about to leave him, and then he became like suddenly like overwhelmed with emotion, and I wasn't sure what was going on. We had previously talked about his cousin, rest in peace, but I don't know if at that time were we talking about it.
I think we were. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, so I don't remember if we were talking. I don't think we were specifically talking about it, but I think we had talked about it maybe previously, and it stirred something up inside of him. And then as I was leaving, he had like he was overwhelmed with emotion, and he started crying. I felt really, really bad, but my mom was cussing me out. I had to go home. So
this is like 2 years out, you know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, at that particular time, I don't think I really had an opportunity to really process it. I went from just before graduating high school, May of 1998, when I got the word of what happened with him. And then graduation. And then a few months later, I was in the service. And then a year, you know, from that. So, and it was kind of like things that just kept moving. And it was always something that was kind of tugging at me. Yeah. So he had went on a while. I think it had been a year. A year and some change. A year. Right. The environment I came from, it wasn't conducive to show emotions. Yeah. Unfortunately. We lost he lost his cousin, and I lost a friend. Like the same day. I believe it was the same day or a day apart. Same year. Everything. So I understood what he was feeling and what he was going through. But his brother had informed me that he didn't cry, like at the funeral or nowhere. He didn't cry over this, and I was like, what? I did cry, but he didn't see me. Yeah, he was like, he didn't cry. My aunt had saw me and said, hey, don't think of him like that. It's a natural response, though. Just remember the good times. His mother had told me, just remember, you know, how he was before, prior to all this. Yeah. And then she tried to be there to let me know, you know? Yeah. But it's a natural response for him. They were really close. They were like best cousins, like me and my cousins are, you know? And I couldn't even imagine if I were to go through that with my cousins. Like, you probably would not be able to drag me out of bed. So I said all this, you know, all that to say this. Like, don't ever feel like you have to mask or have a reason to be emotional or anything like that. You don't have to hide behind something. If somebody made you mad or upset, and then it's okay to own that this person made you mad or upset. If somebody hurt you, it's okay to acknowledge that somebody can hurt you without saying I'm PMSing, you know what I mean? Because some people do hurt your feelings, and that's, I mean, it's a part of life, unfortunately, but it's okay to own that they hurt your feelings, and you shouldn't have to feel like you need to hide behind something, you know, to be like, well, this is why I feel this way. So just however you're feeling, just let that feeling come out. It's okay, you know? Don't feel like you need to hide behind it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, like, honestly, before we got married and stuff like that, there was just
questions we should have asked each other and things like that we never did. And I think we were married it was probably last year or the year before. I was like, hey, what did you expect of me as your wife? Like, what did you want me to do as your wife? And we were actually sitting down discussing like what our expectations of one another were for our marriage. We never really discussed our expectations of one another when we got married. And I don't know how many of you guys out there relationship-wise discussed with one another like, this is what I expect of you when we are together. So the thing was, I didn't know what to expect. I know what I saw in my family. I know what I saw with my grandparents, but I didn't know personally what I expected out of a marriage. Did you know what you expected out of a marriage?
Not at all. I'm trying to remember right now. Well, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was hard to know what to expect in a marriage. I know what I wanted like from a marriage, but was it realistic? I don't feel like what my expectations were realistic. So when I asked him a couple of years back, like, what did you expect from me as your wife? He was like, I just wanted you to take care of me. And we kind of fell into these roles that were probably like 1950s of him being the provider and me taking care of him. But I think, yeah, so I just fell in line with whatever he wanted, and I did like how he wanted me to do. So we didn't discuss like anybody's financial health. We didn't discuss emotional health, baggage. Like, we didn't discuss a lot of things before we got married. And so
I mean, and I didn't know
it would unfold as we were together. Anyways, as I was trying to say before my ADD kicked in and my husband interrupted me, I think premarital counseling is a good thing because it helps you bring up things, like talk about things that you probably won't be thinking of when you're all like in love and all that good stuff. And we didn't really discuss finances on that level, but we just seemed to like have merged our stuff even while we were dating. So it was like, you know, if he didn't have something, or I would purchase something for him, or you know what I mean. I think that's just how you're supposed to be, take care of each other. And I will talk to you guys later.
Hello?